Hello, this is the Miwa JN video. For those of you who have been watching my videos, you may have noticed that I changed the format of the video, where in the first part I will be talking about the lock, the internals and the picking strategy, and then I will proceed to the actual pick, because I realized it only makes sense to first explain what's going on in the lock and what I'm doing, and then actually put it to practice. So I think it's a better viewer's experience, I guess. Okay, so this is the Miwa JN. It's basically the same lock like the Kaba 20. It's a high pin count lock, as you can see, although the name suggests that there are 20 pins. There are not, or this lock rarely comes fully pinned, if ever. In this particular lock there are 17 pins. Unfortunately, through acts of black magic during the reassembly process, one of the key pins, one of the pins started to prevent the key from going in, and despite I swapped all of the springs adjacent to it and even the drivers and the key pins, it just didn't work, so it ended up being a 16 pinner. So looking at the plug, it looks exactly like something you could expect from a high pin count lock. There is no country milling involved. You can see that the pins are coming in from 4 directions: top right, top left, and diagonally from bottom right and bottom left. The keyway is pretty open, so that's not a problem. What's a problem are the crowding issues in this lock. The pins are really cramped in there. So looking at the internals of this lock, I arranged the pins in such a way that the top left row is here, top right is here, bottom right is here, and bottom left is here. Let's start with the driver pins, as there is not too much to talk about. The drivers are standards. They look all exactly the same. Oops. And they are capped, so the spring can get compressed inside. Looking at the key pins, we have few distinctive types of key pins in here. So some of them have this little spool element on them, and it will give you counter rotation as soon as you overset it. So if you start getting counter rotation in this lock, you wanna stop pushing on the pin, and you are probably overset, so you need to drop the tension. Another type of key pin is this one. Has a slightly tapered focus, please. Slightly tapered top, and this is very welcoming for any oversets. So another thing to note is you need to use really heavy tension throughout the whole pick to avoid a lot of oversets. And then there are these tiny key pins with this very sharp lip at the top, and you can imagine that it's very easy to overset. Now, if we talk about picking the lock, there are several approaches how it can be done. Many people have picked this lock with curved flags like this, and the idea behind it is that you are using this kind of flag to set the top left and the bottom right pins with the back of the flag, so you're getting some clearance because there is this curvature, so you're not touching the opposing pins on the top right. If you're doing this or this, and you can use the opposite flag to pick the top right and bottom left. But for some reason I couldn't make it work reliably. I found that the shaft is too thick and it made me overset stuff a lot. And at the same time, this approach kinda forces you to pick half of the lock in the same direction that you're tensioning it, so that creates a problem. So what I ended up doing is using a mixture of flags. I used the curved ones for the top left and bottom right, and I went with this short flag, and I used it to set the top right row like this. So I went from the bottom of the pin and I set it like this. So I was going counterclockwise and I picked it basically like this from the bottom. So yeah, well, I guess that's all to say about the lock. Again, I would like to emphasize the fact that you really need to use heavy tension to pick it, because it's easy to overset it. Especially use heavy tension as you are passing through the pins to avoid it, and it's also nice to have some louder feedback. Okay, there's the key. You can see many cuts for diagonal pins and straight, I guess, pins. Right, so let's get picking. Okay, here we go. Key works. Gonna put in some heavy counterclockwise tension, and let's start. So nothing on 1, good click on 2 with a little co-rotation, moving to the top left, nothing on 1, 3, now 4, click there, and I slipped of 5, is giving me some trouble. Okay, I think I'm gonna click there. See if we can do something on the bottom left. Okay, click on bottom 3 and bottom 5. Moving to the bottom right. Don't think I got the set the bottom properly. Need to check again. Okay. Bottom right. Click on 3 on the bottom right. Click on 1 on the top left. Top right, sorry. I'm gonna check bottom left again. Okay, I'm gonna check bottom right again. Looks good. Now top right, nothing on 1, 2, 3, now 4, Little click there. 2, 3. Okay. Checking bottom right again. Okay. Bottom left again. Click on 5, 3, right, back to bottom right. Everything looks fine in there. Check top right. One, springy, nothing on 2, 3, click on 4, now bottom right, everything looks springy. I'm gonna check bottom left again, and if nothing happens, then I'm gonna probably try releasing some tension. Getting some unspecified clicks there. Sweep the top right row again, just to make sure we have everything. I think we got an overset somewhere. Yeah, it dropped some pins. Let's see if we overset something. Click on 3 on the top right. Bottom right. Sorry. And so bottom right looks fine. Another click there on 5 this time. I think bottom right is fine. Let's try bottom left again. I think we're good on the bottom left. Now top right. Actually top left is binding. And we got an open. Nice. Well, for those of you wondering why the vise is so tilted like this, it's because one of the metal plates that was crimped started to come off dangerously, so I used it to push on it, like this one. Alright, so let's get this gutted. Okay, gonna place this here and take the tray with the unfortunate pin in here, and okay, how to do this so everything is in frame, I guess like this. Okay, so why don't we start at the left side. Okay, so first I'm gonna remove all the springs, doing my best not to lose any of them. And what I found is that actually it does matter what spring you put where, because not all of these chambers use, oops, I don't want to do that, use the same springs, and there must be a reason for it. I don't know what is the reason, but there is some. Okay, so a little bit of spring explosion, but we have everything in place. So let's put this here. Okay, there's 1, 2 is already there. This is 3. A little bit of mix up. This is 4. Actually, I might do it like this. 5. And 6. Okay. Now let's do bottom left. So there should be pins in chambers 3, 5, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 3. There's 4. And 5. Okay. So this goes here. Here and here. Okay, I'll rearrange it later. And let's do right. So there's spring 1. Two. 3. Here comes the dangerous part. 4. And 5. No, I don't want to do this. Not like this. Sorry. Yeah. Pins are so tiny. On the bottom right. Good lucky. Okay, this spring just disappeared somewhere. Give me a second if I can find the spring. Or actually I will give you a close-up on the pins. Okay, so they're not in order, actually not order, but they're not arranged too nicely, but you can see all of them here. Okay, thanks for watching and have a nice day.